Hello and welcome. This is In the Studio and it's episode 79. So today we're going to talk a little bit about reverb. Instead of just slapping a reverb plugin on your auxiliary channel and calling it good, you can get a lot more out of your reverbs by doing some other processing and other techniques to enhance that reverb and make it, work a little bit better for you in the mix. So I have this more melodic style techno track that I'm working on. It's really basic and raw at the moment. Uh, so that's what we'll be working with there. And what I want to do right now is actually set up a kind of like a long, big ambient reverb. And I thought I would show you how I would do that, or at least one way, because there's many approaches to take. So I'm going to use this big verb auxiliary channel here. It's just a basic one of the default sends. So I'm going to just push this up kind of far right now while I'm working on it, maybe like 65%. And let's just head over here and I'll kind of walk you through kind of maybe my thought process and how I would set this up. So first thing I'm going to do is put on a EQ to clean up the input signal. So I'm just going to low cut this at around 300, 260 is fine, and roll off a little bit of the top end just to clean things up. Now I'm going to put on a reverb plugin here, and I'm just going to go for the Valhalla Vintage Verb, and I'm going to use the chamber setting, and I'm going to give it a pre-delay. Yeah, that's fine. Just a nice little, just a gap, before the reverb actually kicks in. And I'm going to push this decay up quite high, maybe like 20 seconds. This is something that I want to automate in and out the send levels on a couple synth elements. So I'm going to keep that decay really, really high. Okay, now what I want to do is bring a compressor into the mix here. So I'm going to use the UAD 1176 because this is going to give it a nice color. And all I'm using the compressor for is to bring up the low levels of the reverb and just to create a more denser sound. So let's have a little listen here to see if we're getting enough input to make this compressor react, because how the 1176 works, there actually is no threshold. You have to just push the input signal enough until it passes the predetermined preset threshold. So let's see if we got enough level here. We are getting some compression, but what I think I'm going to actually do is drive a little bit more signal into this compressor, because I want to compress it a decent amount just to bring up that reverb. So I'm going to put on just a gain plugin. This is called Free G. It's by Synoxis, and all it is a gain meter, and it's just a super handy tool for things like this and for automation. And yeah, there's lots of uses for this little guy. So I'm going to push this up actually quite a bit, and then I'll just turn the output down on the compressor here. So I want a fast attack here, and I'm going to increase the attack, or excuse me, a fast release, and I'm going to increase the attack a little bit as well. And 4:1 ratio is just fine for this. Cool. I'm digging that. That will work, and that could always be adjusted a little bit later down the road. And that's just going to bring up the level, like I said, and make the reverb a little bit more dense and push it forward in the mix. Now what I want to do is something a little bit more creative. I guess you can call it creative. We're going to put another EQ after this compressor here, and we're going to add a little tone to the reverb here. And we're going to do that with this EQ. We're going to actually pseudo tune it. So what you can do in parametric EQ2 is right click, go to the key, and I'm working in the key of G, so I'm going to go down to G and I'm going to put a node there, and we're just going to create a little resonance spike. But I'm going to do this on multiple G notes. And this is going to actually give this reverb a tone, which will just help it. I find it just can really help it gel better with everything else. So yeah, you can try it out, see if it works for you. And I actually used this same technique in one of my earlier videos a while back, where I showed you some white noise tips and tricks. So I'll link that up in the card above if you want to go check that out, because I think that's a pretty useful video actually. Nice. So now we have a nice little resonant spike here. Let's just do one more while we're at it. And we'll just make this a peak rather than a shelf. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to switch it back on during playback and really listen to the change that makes. So here we go. So on and off, on, let's listen to just the reverb now on this synth here. Yeah, I think just, kind of pseudo tuning it like that really helps it. It just gives it a little bit more character. It seems to fit better with the track, and it's something that you can try out on, like I said, like white noise, other effects. You could even do it to you could try it out on different types of material, but it works well on reverb for sure. And you could, obviously adjust the levels of these resonant spikes to your liking. So you can have fun with it. You could even do like chords rather than just one note. You can experiment with things like that. And then I think this could use just a little bit of reverb just to kind of push and pull with the kick. So let's just use kick start here. I'm just going to dial this back a little bit. Yeah, I think that will work. And yeah, that's the video for today. Just you know, a more effective reverb send channel. There's lots you can do to kind of pull that reverb out and make it actually like a, you know, important element of the track. And I really find that, you know, it works well on more kind of dubby style, melodic techno kind of stuff. At least that's the kind of the stuff I use it on. So that is the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment or question, and I'll see you really soon. Take care.